Happy Tuesday, Architects. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. It was great seeing everybody last Thursday. We are going to begin our fourth intercession learning opportunity, and we're going to continue around the theme of assessment for learning. I don't know how many people have the opportunity to watch Dr. Brabrand's weekly video messages, but in his last one, he outlined his expectations for student success. And he gave this outline to principals at the last all-county principal meeting. His 5 expectations are professional learning communities, multi-tiered support systems such as PBS and RTI, high-quality Tier 1 instruction, collaboratively created lessons, and frequent formative assessments. When I saw this, I thought to myself, wow, we are doing 4 out of the 5 of these. We behave as a professional learning community. We are creating high-quality Tier 1 instruction. We're collaboratively creating our lessons. And we're doing that even if we're working on independent lessons because we're still interacting with our peers to get feedback. And we're creating and learning about frequent and formative assessment. I thought, wow, that's really something to know or to have Dr. Brabrand reinforce what we're doing. It's his last expectation that we're going to continue to be spending some more time with. So let's go ahead and chat a little bit about where we've been and where we're going. Up to this point, we've talked about our beliefs towards grading, the impact that those beliefs have had in terms of change in practice, motivation, personalization. We've also talked about the role of scores. What does a letter grade mean? What does a number grade mean? We've talked about formative assessment in a blended learning environment, and we've talked about empowerment and ownership. Last Thursday, we also talked about a little bit about assessment outcome and alignment. We talked about student reflection and a little bit more about student motivation. We also spent a good amount of time talking about the characteristics of student-led assessment, which comes from the FCPS learning model. We're going to revisit these topics and begin to move forward in this week's learning opportunity. Over the next few learning opportunities, we're going to be learning more about involving students in classroom assessment. Our goal is for them to take ownership over this process by setting goals and using assessments to adjust their own learning. This week we'll be looking at 2 readings. The first is the story of Emily. This is a true story about her journey to become a good writer and how she came to take ownership over her learning in the process. The story is followed by an interview led by Assessment for Learning guru Rick Stiggins. While you are reading, think about your beliefs towards assessment and how they are reflected in the story and interview. Also, be sure to clue in on factors that promote motivation, empowerment, and the characteristics of student-led assessment, which we discussed last Thursday. The second reading is one of my favorites because of the connections it makes to assessment in a blended learning environment and, more importantly, personalized learning. Lastly, I'd like to leave you with these 3 points as we go forward in our learning around formative assessment. Have a great week.